Hey everybody, Dylan here from Iceberg TV. Today I've got two new drops to share with you guys. We've got the new Eclipse 2.0 watt. I also have the new drop of the Eclipse 2.0 wave. We're going to be comparing the watt to my old OTB glow watt. Curious to see how they fly in comparison. We'll also be comparing it to the new Silva Saarinen proxy. And we'll be comparing the new wave to the neutron trail. So I'm super excited to see how everything flies in comparison to one another. We'll do the watts and then we'll do the Silva Saarinen proxy. We'll start with the OTB watt, then the new Eclipse 2.0 watt. Super curious to see how the watts are flying though nowadays, now that my form is quite different. A little bit more stable than I remember. Not getting quite the hyzer flip I remember getting on these back in the day. Let's try and flatten this one out. This is the new watt. 2.5 minus 0.5 with a 0.5 fade. There we go. Got a hold of that one a bit better. Actually, some remarkable stability. I kind of hammered that pretty hard. Let's see how they fly in comparison to the Silva proxy. The watt and the proxy always flew pretty similar for me, but I feel like the watt might have a little bit more fade at the end and doesn't go quite as straight. We just threw into a bit of a tailwind. We'll throw them back into the headwind and see how the torque resistance is. And the wave versus the trail is my favorite distance driver at the moment. Got the wave on the left, the trail on the right. Pretty similar, but the wave is one speed faster, and I think the trail might be a little more understable. But let's see how it plays out. Neutron trail, then the new Eclipse 2.0 wave. I mean, that's absolutely smacked. Absolutely love the trail. That right there is exactly why I love it. 400 feet of just pure dead straight on a rope. And now we have the wave. Even though the wave is a -2 turn, not getting much turn at all. You can see the trail popped up for me and got a beautiful hyzer flip to dead straight flight. And the wave was super stable, didn't flip up all the way, and had a much larger fade to the left at the end of the flight. Those glow waves in my experience have always been just a tick more stable than the other runs. So all of these discs from today's video just dropped over at Disc Golf Deals USA. So I'd really appreciate it if you do want to check one out, or any other disc. We just did a restock of some cool custom Cryptic Crawley stamps as well. We also have some of these like OTB Craves with the Mammoth stamp and all kinds of other cool stuff on the site. So if you do want to go get anything, please use my link in the description below. Let's go through everything a few more times. So as far as the watt and the proxy go, the proxy definitely overall just feels slightly more rounded. I think the watt feels just a little bit more blocky in the hand, in my opinion. I feel like the watt is right in between a glitch and a proxy. Not so much in flight-wise, but more so feel-wise. Let's give everything a throw back into the slight headwind here. We got little man on the right, struggling on his skateboard. Hopefully don't take him out here. Let's throw the Silva proxy, then the watts, and then we'll throw the wave and the trail. Starting off with Silva's new proxy. I mean, those proxies have some stability, not just that proxy, but all proxies in general. People think that the proxy is a flippy putter, but you can absolutely smack those things pretty hard, and they're almost never going to burn over, at least mine don't. They're just going to go dead straight and then have a little fade at the end. This is the OTB Open Glow Watt, and then we'll throw the new run of Watt. So you can see coming back in the headwind, popping up to a little bit straighter. Nice and straight, but still some very respectable stability at the end of the flight. This is the new Eclipse Watt. Flying exactly the same as the OTB edition. Now we've got the neutron trail coming back into the headwind here. Whoa, got a weird pull on that, but the trail is just so perfect for my arm speed. Almost no matter how I throw it, it just flips up and goes dead straight. Maybe it doesn't do that for you guys. Maybe it does. Let me know in the comments below. But the trail for my arm speed is just dead straight flyer. Now this wave has a touch more dome than the last Eclipse wave that I had, the OTB run with the UFO on it. So I don't know, and that first throw is pretty darn stable. Let's throw this thing nice and flat and see what happens. We got another stable Eclipse wave on our hands, folks. That thing went straight through like 60 to 70% of the flight and then swings hard to the left at the end. I swear those Eclipse waves are more like a -1-2. I personally definitely am not getting a -2 turn out of those things. They are quite stable for a wave. So I basically like just got out of work. I went to this new place called El Malo in Charlotte, new burrito spot, ate a fat burrito, and because of the time change, I still have time to come out and film in golden hour lighting for you guys. So I'm super pumped that the clocks have officially moved. That gives me a lot more time to film in general, but also we get this beautiful golden hour lighting. We've got time to come and film later in the day. We're gonna throw everything 2 more times. We've got the tailwind coming this way, the headwind coming back, Silva, then we'll throw the 2 watts, and then the trail, and then the wave. Man, the wave is so deceptive in that Eclipse plastic. It's just so stable. Let's smoke the watts and the Silva Saranin like just flat with some height. She's pretty stable. My Fission one definitely goes a hair straighter. That Proton Soft feels better today than it did when I did my initial review because it's not quite as hot. When it was a bit hotter, like pushing 80 degrees, that Proton Soft gets like really soft, a little bit softer than I like. But out here right now, it's a bit cooler. Feels perfect in the hand. That's the OTB watt. I mean, it flies exactly like the flight numbers, 0.5 turn, 0.5 fade. I don't know about 5 glide, or sometimes I think glide doesn't exist and sometimes I think it does. I think that has mostly to do with dome, but 2.5 -5 with a 0.5 fade. Couldn't have thrown those watts much better. That is the classic watt flight right there. If you give putters height, they will go pretty far. I'm only getting my drivers a little bit past the putters, honestly. Trail, same deal. Let's give it some height. That's not height. Slipped right out of my hand. So the low driven trail didn't go as far as the watt. Let's give this wave a little more height and maybe even like a little Anheuser angle. See what sort of flight we get if we kind of force the turn here. There we go. So you see before it hit the tree, it actually was starting to pick up and then pan back to the left. I've thrown proton waves and I've thrown neutron waves. On that line, they're a roller. But those Eclipse waves, they honestly just fly like a new stock stable Wraith for me. Pretty stable and a bit more fade than you're expecting for sure. I also got from Disc Golf Deals this Neutron Delirium. So haven't thrown this yet. I figure maybe we should give it a throw. I'll definitely get a review out on this because I've never thrown a driver of this rim width, I don't think. 14.5 speed. Let's see the first throw with the new Delirium. Oh, that thing is fast. Wow. That just got from tee to green so quickly. I didn't think that was going to be throwable for me, but I'm really excited about how that Delirium just flew. All right, one last set of throws during golden hour here. We're going to throw the 3 putters and then the 3 distance drivers. The new watt seems to fly very similar to the OTB Open watt. I think we might still have some of the OTB Open ones on Disc Golf Deals USA. You should click the link and go check it out. I know a lot of this OTB Open stuff is still on there from the previous years. Once they're gone, they probably won't come out with the same discs again. So let's give everything one last toss. This is the new run of watt first, then we'll go proxy, and then we'll go watt. Oh, little man in the fairway. He almost just took a watt to the dome piece. We got little man running around in the fairway here. This is the OTB Open watt. Very straight. MVP really does nail the flight numbers, especially with their putters. I think the drivers, it gets a little screwy just because everybody throws differently. It's hard to really pinpoint how drivers fly. I feel like that wave is a lot more stable than the flight numbers would indicate. Silva's proxy. Nice and stable today. I feel like it wasn't flying that stable when I threw it like yesterday. Let's go trail, wave, delirium. All right. This needs to get absolutely smashed. This is the trail. There it is. That's smashed. Beautiful. It's good confidence builder going into the wave shot. You saw that last shot, I put it on a good bit of anhyzer and it still flexed out at the end. So let's try a similar shot. Playing the left side of the fairway here. There it is, look at that. Plenty of stability even for the like force flex release. If I had a forehand right now, I know for a fact I could smack that wave into absolute oblivion. I'd get that to go so far in a flick. And now we've got the neutron delirium. Honestly, the most shocking disc of the day. That first throw was very promising. Very wide rim, very uncomfortable in the hand. Definitely wider than a nuke, at least seemingly. Last throw of the day, delirium. Getting a pretty decent flight out of that. There's gonna be a learning curve because of the super wide rim. But I'm really excited to see how that delirium can fly on some full power lines, especially into like a stiff headwind. Let's go gather everything up and then we'll close things out for today. All right, I feel like I've said everything that needs to be said about these new MVP drops. I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about the new watt, about the new run of wave. The new run of wave is stable. Way more stable than you're probably expecting. If you want a -2 turn, I would either get this new one in the lightest weight you can find or get one in the proton or in the neutron plastic, because these waves are beefcakes. Now, if you're someone who likes the flight of a Wraith, but you can't really find that in the MVP lineup, get this wave because it's going to be absolutely perfect for you forehand throwers out there, flex throwers, or people that want an MVP Axiom version of the Innova Wraith. This is probably the closest thing that I've thrown to that. My previous Eclipse waves were board flat. This one has a nice little dome on it, and it's got really great stability and really nice glide. You saw on that last flex line, gave it some height and some anhyzer, flexing out the whole way through, not really having much turn to speak of in the mid-flight. Very useful pro level driver, very impressed. Also impressed with the watt. Probably gonna chuck it in the bag for a couple weeks and see what we can do with the watt going forward, see how it truly compares to the proxy. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys for supporting me. Those of you who use my link and shop over at Disc Golf Deals USA, I know they appreciate it as well. Stay humble, live with gratitude. Have a great weekend and take care.